species in them, and there are more individuals of all these animals and plants than you find in surrounding landscapes. You know, I mentioned Aldo Leopold, the great forester of the early 20th century and mid-20th century. He said the first law of tinkering with a machine is you don't throw away the parts. And I think that wilderness, even in the face of these challenges that we're talking about, these places have a tremendous role in keeping the pieces as we learn and figure out nature, because we really don't know enough to engineer the planet the way that I think some people might have understood your previous guest to be saying.
I'm Tom Astrup with Jordan Fisher Smith. This is On Point. And yet it's clear that nothing can protect. I mean, boundaries don't protect from those atmospheric inputs, even climate inputs that you described. Did scientists at President Johnson have any idea in 1964 about the kind of threats that could come from planetary change and atmospheric movement?
No, of course, this was a time when, it would be hard for them to imagine a world where sea levels are rising due to anthropogenic or human causes, and where our ocean water is a third more acid from dissolved carbon dioxide than theirs was. But, these great pieces of legislation like the Wilderness Act and like the Constitution and like the Bill of Rights, it's part of the nature of them that we have to keep plumbing the intention of the framers and make them relevant and keep making them relevant to our present world. And I really feel that way about the Wilderness Act. If you look at the Bill of Rights, say the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable search and seizure of your private areas of your life, the framers of that Bill of Rights could not have imagined a world where the cloud contains as much data and information about the individual, everything you purchase with your credit card, everywhere you go, the GPS in your phone. Who could have imagined this level of invasion of privacy? And yet, these principles in the Bill of Rights are sort of, for our purposes, eternal.
Jordan, what's your favorite bit of wilderness? Put us there for just a second. We've got you for half a minute more. Take us there.
Well, I mean, if I lived in the 1830s or 40s, I would have gone to see the bison migrate across the Great Plains. And so I wanted to see, a comparable spectacle that still exists on the American landscape, the migration of caribou from Arctic Canada into the Arctic United States to calve and feed their young on the Arctic plain. And I went and did that, and I walked around up there in that tundra with my son. It took a long bush plane flight to get in there, and then we waited and walked around for days and days looking for the caribou. And when we saw them, they flowed like water over the land. There was this great sea of brown coming over this Arctic tundra, and I'll never forget it.
Jordan Fisher Smith. His piece in Orion magazine is The Wilderness Paradox. You can read it at our website, a link to it, onpointradio.org. Jordan, in Sacramento, California today, thank you so much for being with us on this 50th anniversary of the Wilderness Act. Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Happy wilderness to you.
Happy wilderness. As happy as we can make it. We'll go out with the sound of the chestnut-backed chickadee, recorded by Bob McGuire in 2012 in the Philip Burton Wilderness on the Northern California coast. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Ashbrook. This is On Point.